Hello, Alice Wheaton here again. And the topic for our video today is the 5 components that make up a fantastic prospecting call. Or you could also say the 5 mistakes, the 5 massive mistakes salespeople make that prevent them from getting success when they make the cold call. Let's start with number 5. Oh, before I do that, I want you to know that any call that requires courage is a cold call. Yes, calling a stranger, of course, is a cold call, but if you have to call a client and ask for something and you feel the slightest bit nervous, that too is a cold call because it requires courage. So let's look at 5 components of a great prospecting call. Have a robust list. Most salespeople start out with 3 or 4 names. And they think those 3 or 4 names are going to give them an appointment. And with voicemail being so prevalent, of course, 3 or 4 names, the chances of getting someone are very low. So if you start out with, 20 or so people on your list, then you'll have a greater chance of getting a live person. The 4th one is that salespeople try to sell the appointment, the product, but really you have to sell the appointment. That's all you need to sell over the phone is the appointment. Too many salespeople go on and on and on about the product, about the service, and they go on and on and on expecting the client to say yes to the appointment. And if the salesperson has bored them already in the cold call, can you imagine they're thinking, what's going to happen if I see this salesperson? And of course, there's no engagement unless you understand your competitive advantage. If I were to say to you, 100% of the clients that I ask agree to provide a referral for me, or 100% of the clients that I ask are willing to provide a reference for me, they're willing to be my spokesperson, that's a competitive advantage, because a competitive advantage means that you can measure something. So if you were a print company, for instance, and you said 97% of my personal client survey, 97% of those people said that they would do business with me again and that they stay with me because I give them great quality, a great product, and a great service. That's a competitive advantage, saying we have the best people and we have the best quality and we have the best service. Just doesn't cut it. You need to be able to quantify it. And of course, number 2 is probably the most prevalent one, and that is there's no protocol for the objections. You may as well understand this now and get it really solidly. You're always going to get an objection. Now, those objections can take the form of, I have no time, I'm already doing business with someone else, now is not the right time to call me in the spring, I have no money. You are going to get an objection, and if you don't have a way of dealing with each objection that brings your clients closer because of the objection, then you're not going to get the appointment. Clients give objections because they work to get rid of incompetent salespeople. And the other thing that salespeople do is you must never say, how are you today? And there's 4 good reasons for never, ever, ever saying that. The first one is that it's ordinary. Most salespeople say that, and as soon as you say, how are you today, your clients get it that you're a salesperson. Number 2, it doesn't help you create connection with your client that you think it does, because your client hears that all the time, they're detached. Number 3, it sets your clients up to lie. They're going to say, I'm fine, thank you, even if they're not. And number 4, and this is a really common reason, is that what happens is that it's a rhetorical question. You're going to say, hi, how are you today? The clients say, fine. And back in the old days of selling, people thought that if they got the client to say yes or fine, are you having a good day? Yes. How are you today? Fine. They thought that prepared the client to say yes later on, and nothing could be further from the truth. And so I want to leave you today by repeating what I said in the very beginning. And that is that every call that requires courage is a cold call. And yet, prospecting is like inventory. The more you do of it, the greater your inventory, the greater your chances of sales success. Until next time, happy, easy selling. Bye for now.